This particular tree has to go. The way I'm moving, these are the trees leaving to pave way for the road. These are the trees leaving. What is in the picture is what is leaving. There I'm moving. Those are the trees leaving to pave way for the road plus drainage. And this is the end at the point of Kenya 1. You can see the peg. So this peg has been put, and it's not alone, there are several. So as I move, you'll be seeing the pegs. I'm leaving out the trees that are not being cut. What you are seeing is what is going down. That is what you are seeing. There are quite a number of trees that have been picked using the computer. This is another peg. Next to it, there is a tree. Then we continue moving. Now I'm just crossing the road next to the gate. I'm crossing the entrance to our gate. This is another peg. You can see that peg. So the trees like that neighboring the road are to move out. I'm still moving on towards Ramadhani's place. All those are coming down. They're coming down. There is another peg here, symbolizing again another tree that's coming down. Sawa sawa. So that is the work. Simply because this particular road is being extended, the county government of Kakamega in Kenya wants to expand the road for the purpose of tarmacking and further development. They'll be having an industry 2 kilometers from this place, and this particular industry, its work will be making fertilizer. And as you know, once we have a tarmac road, it's supposed so many people, those who will benefit are so many that you cannot give a definite number. They have already pegged the area that they are taking for road construction. It is being taken compulsorily, there is no compensation. So farmers have been asked to reduce, to give in and support the road project. What normally affects climate change activities when we undertake is development. This particular road is going to see so many trees fell. Here we have eucalyptus trees, and they've been being used for very many purposes. One of them being generation of timber. We get timber for the purpose of roofing, timber for the purpose of making furniture, timber for the purpose of construction and different uses. Sawdust is used in different places, particularly the poultry farming and the energy, for those who have energy, vehicles that use sawdust. Now, the surveyors have demarcated by putting up such a peg. It means from the road, they have taken more than 12 meters to this particular point where the drainage will be. These particular trees were put up in 1971. in terms of planting. Some have been copicing because the parent tree had been cut, and even those that have copiced are already big enough. But they've got to go down to pave way for the construction of a tarmac road. My audience, all of us have heard about climate change. When we talk about climate change, we have factors that lead to desertification. One of the factors is development. So the number of trees that will come down today here and elsewhere in the world is what leads to change in moderation of weather, change in moderation of the average years that lead to climate change. This is real. When we talk about climate change, then development contributes. And development in different sectors, this is just one. So these trees are coming down, and they're not a number. They're not quite a number. For example, 1, 2, 3, until we reach the other end, which is a scope of about 100 meters, and we are taking 3 lines. The trees were planted with the distance from one tree to another is over 3 meters. Some, of course, will have to come down because of the root formation. It will be affecting the roads, and yet the roads are supposed to be, once constructed, they'll not be undertaking repair all the time. We had not prepared to use the timber right now, but by virtue of road construction, we are forced to create a way of using the timber, if not selling. We do not have storage facilities for the number of trees we are going to fell today, or we are going to fell for the purpose of paving way for the road construction. This is the lorry that is participating in the road construction, and ahead we can see the putting a box on a tree so that they can pull it. That tree will be ferried. We have costs of putting down the trees. The farmer has to put down the trees by herself. So this particular road is quite busy right now for the purpose of road construction. You can see the rope will be used to pull. That particular rope will be used to pull the tree to where it can fall. And the tree is quite high. If it falls on the side of the Maram road, it may hit a vehicle. It's dangerous. It's dangerous to the people who are putting it down. It's dangerous to the pedestrians. We've not yet put down any health hazard warning. And because of the urgency of cutting the trees, the contractor who was supposed to do it, he does it by use of a tractor to fell the tree. Now this power saw is what is being used for cutting down the tree. Already we have one tree which has given us these 3 logs and quite a bit of branches. The branches are going to be used particularly for fuel wood. Some can be used to make charcoal, and of course some are going to be used to reinforce other activities. The purpose of this tree was actually to act as windbreakers, among other issues like giving poles for building, timber for construction. Of course they moderate the weather, you can get some shade. And my parents who planted them are peacefully resting in their graves. They departed at 90 years each, 2 years apart. Quietly in their grave, I cannot tell the contemplation that's going there as they see the trees that they planted coming down. But all these are coming down because the surveyor has put pegs. Most of our neighbors had not embraced planting trees near the roads. But remember, the road was an earth road, and from 1971, the tarmac is happening at this particular time when it is happening in the year 2024. If you compute, for sure it is such a resource, and it will be of course to the economics means that we shall use the timber to reduce costs for some of the constructions that we shall be undertaking. So it is not all going to waste. And in any case, having been sensitized on the type of trees to plant, we shall be undertaking further tree planting, of course on reduced land, since some of the land will be taken up by the one has just fallen there, and we can see the people who are taking part in its felling running away. We don't want anybody to be hurt. That's how we put down trees these sides. So it has gone with part of the barbed fence wire. So the trees, the animals, these are the treasures that we have in the home. And now that the animals cannot even graze because they're wondering why the trees are being felled, have been put, are taking about half an acre of land just to pave way for construction. Kenya Power and Lighting Company has put up a post, but their post is not, it's 1 meter away from the road that has been demarcated. This is the post for Kenya Power, and that is the boundary for this particular land. So Kenya Power's post will not be affected, but their pegs, the pegs that hold the post, or whatever beacons that post, it must be having a technical name. So those pegs for Kenya Power have also to be moved because it's part of the drainage that will be made as they construct the road. We had also indigenous species. Not all the trees were eucalyptus. We have some indigenous species that are going to be felled. Because it is a government project, all land belongs to the government, and we have to comply with the different laws and support the county government of Kakamega so that the road construction can take place effectively. The children from the neighbors took some of the firewood that was dry from the trees that were being felled. That is the branches, some small branches, and you can see this how they use it in the hearth. Most people use firewood for cooking, and those who can afford normally use other means for cooking, such as they can use electricity, they can use gas, they can use charcoal, and pressure cookers, different methods of cooking. So here, it is the one that is common in this area, the hearth. In this home has come down. So many eucalyptus trees are coming down, and if we talk matters on land restoration, the land is going to be left bare. Depending on the landscaping, most of the erosion, the water will be coming into the compound. Because these trees which have been felled to pave way for the construction of the Lureko Matawa Road is going to join the Busia Road at a place called Ogalo. As much as it is development, in other aspects there's also an impact. So we have to look for the type of species and the kind of root formation for those trees which can support the soil that has been left where these trees have been cut, for as long as they don't interfere with the drainage that is going to be put as they put the bituminous road. As you can see, all these are indicators that the trees were for sure 51 years old, and some, remember, have copies. You can see the canopy. The canopy shows that the trees are not quite young. Also, when we talk about places like the riparian land, for sure, yes, we normally have trees specific for riparian areas. But The development which comes with the so much cutting of the trees, like in this particular case, as much as the bituminous road is very good, these are some of the disadvantages. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Ondako, and is the one who is undertaking the cutting of trees and making the tree into different products. For example, firewood, timber of different sizes, and even poles, because it all depends on the size of tree that he is cutting. Ondako?
Yes.
From the time construction of this road to Matawa started, how have you done business?
Okay, I may say that it has come as a blessing to me, because since the road was started being constructed, I've had several jobs that I've done, and maybe at the end of the day I'm making something, and I'm very happy.
Good. And how do you intend to make your program for working? Because I believe the number of people asking you to do jobs are very many.
Yes. As per my policy, I usually have my notebook. So I normally write down the clients according to, okay, I attend to a client as per the time that he requested for my service. So I'm going to, as per that list. So whoever that came first, I serve him first.
From this home, I'm sure you've been this home for some time for the purpose of filling the trees.
Yes.
Do you have other people who have asked you to go and fell trees in their homes?
Actually, I've worked here severally, even before Mzee Peter died. He was my biggest client for that matter. And apart from this home, there are several clients that have come to me and asked for my service, for that matter, felling the trees and maybe chopping firewood or making timbers for them. So apart from this home, there are also several homes that I do work for them.
And specifically this time of road construction, from this home, do you have another person who has approached you to fell trees in his home?
Yeah, actually there are several of them, about 3 or 5. I've worked for them, I've felled the trees for them, and I think there are several.
Okay.
Yes.
So thanks a lot.
Yes.
Continue working.
Yes.
And we are still together.
Yes.
So our team, the audience you're watching, you can see the lorry that is already participating in the road construction. And the people around here are very happy because they'll be on using the bituminous road. They'll no longer be having a maram road. They're quite enthusiastic. But on one side, those whose buildings were near the road, they're feeling the pinch because the buildings are going down. The veranda, maybe part of the road, is coming down. And if you have such trees, they're coming down. Trees that are over 50 years. I'll go back to say the grave of those who managed to plant the very many seedlings that gave the trees we are seeing coming down today back in 1971. That is the grave. Those are the 2 graves are for my parents. They're the ones who had the vision to plant the trees whose economic aspect we are going to benefit as they rest in their graves.